Hello. For my radical revision, I decided to take a look at my rhetorical analysis essay. In my rhetorical analysis essay, I did a rhetorical analysis on the controversial Nationwide commercial titled Make Safe Happen, which aired during the 2015 Super Bowl. For the radical revision, I wanted to change the essay format into a video format, viewing and discussing the commercial itself. Since the commercial is short, I would like to firstly play it through its entirety in case you have yet to see it. Enjoy.
Hey, wait! Buzz, wait! Wait! I'll never learn to ride a bike. Or get cooties. I'll never learn to fly. Or travel the world with my best friend. And I won't ever get married. I couldn't grow up because I died from an accident.
At Nationwide, we believe in protecting what matters most. Your kids. Together, we can make safe happen.
And there you have it. Quite the sad ad, if I say so myself. It brings about a heavy message, which is that the leading cause of childhood deaths is accidents. This ad especially stuck out since the setting was the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is more or less a family event or a party situation. The Super Bowl is filled with commercials with kind of a happy-go-lucky feel. And this heavy-hitting message really stuck out. And just by it sticking out was just another factor that led to its controversy. Whether it was good or bad controversy, there was a lot of mixed feelings about this commercial. In a poll by Biz Journals, 39% of survey participants thought it brought much needed attention to an important issue, which was the fact that the leading cause of childhood deaths are accidents. While 31% felt that both the ad and the timing were inappropriate, the timing being the Super Bowl. And 29% felt that the message was good, but the Super Bowl was just not the right place for it. Now, I want to discuss though, was this commercial a failure or a success for Nationwide? To do so, I would like to firstly go over the commercial again with a bit of commentary, discussing the commercial with its pathos, logos, and ethos, and overall factors of the commercial.
Hey, wait! Buzz, wait! Wait!
So here we have our protagonist, if you will, a small boy who is fairly cute with his dog friend. We first see him being left behind by sort of an older group, which is kind of expected. You know, he's younger, he's on a tricycle, and he's just a bit slow and being left behind. This is our first dose of pathos, where as a viewer, most of us feel bad for the character. We are connected to the character right off the bat.
I'll never learn to ride a bike. Or get cooties. I'll never learn to fly. Or travel the world with my best friend. And I won't ever get married.
Okay, and then it's followed by the character discussing during scenes of the commercial how he'll never be able to do something. The viewer is usually left confused by this for the first time, wondering why he can never do such actions. That alone kind of draws the viewer in. But I would also like to say that the visuals in every scene were also used to draw in the audience, and it was fairly effective. I mean, it's very high key, like adventure for this kid. Even the cuties were animated, and then we're left here in the final I'll never scene, if you will, where he said he'll never get married, which was kind of the outlier of the childhood experience. And we kind of get left with the question of why is he never going to be able to do any of these things? And we are shortly answered by Nationwide with the following statement.
I couldn't grow up because I died from an accident.
And that was the major shocker of the entire commercial and for most of the audience. And this is what led to the controversy. But then Nationwide follows up with a bunch of other scenes showing, possible death locations, if you will, for a child via accidents in the household, whether it be falling from a window up here or drowning in a bathtub. And this is also the one factual data that is brought about during the commercial. The number one cause of childhood deaths is preventable accidents. There's no facts on Nationwide itself or anything else. They just bring up this one fact, and a narration pops up.
At Nationwide, we believe in.
So the narration pops up, and once again, we're seeing other scenes where childhood accidents could lead to death, which we were first given the window, secondly, the bathtub, thirdly, the chemicals under the sink that they could get to, and then we get the possible TV falling over and killing your child.
Protecting what matters most, your kids. Together, we can make safe happen.
And that's the end of the commercial. And Nationwide, of course, wanted a feel good vibe for their company via this commercial. What they got was a bunch of bad, or the majority of it being bad, controversy. A lot of people on social media brought about how they felt that Nationwide wanted you to buy their insurance because your child could die, which of course wasn't what Nationwide was intending. What the commercial did, though, successfully, was bring about this message, which, via good or bad controversy, was stuck in the minds of many of the audience or the listeners to the people discussing this commercial. But I believe it was a failure as a commercial, or how it was intended to work. Nationwide, of course, is a company, and the overall, whether it be direct or indirect, was to cause a raise in sales. Now, you can take that entirely opinionated, but it seems I myself am pretty confident that that was the end goal for Nationwide. Even if Nationwide, upon releasing a statement because of the controversy that was created by the ad, stating that all they wanted to do was create a conversation. They weren't attempting to sell insurance. And a lot of people were actually sedated by this statement, but myself and many others were kind of upset by the statement because it's fairly obvious to a lot of people that companies don't just spend $4.5 million to be specific to run an ad to speak a message without having a purpose to up their company, to sell what they want to sell. So if I say the goal for Nationwide was to actually increase their sales, I'd have to say that the commercial itself was a failure. If they were actually just trying to get this message out, they were definitely successful. But they definitely took a hit to their sales. Now, whether successful or not, I would like to say, even though upon watching this during the Super Bowl and having that awkward feeling, watching it again really had it made me have a different view on the commercial. I did feel that it was more enjoyable. It did bring about a better message, and I took it better. So I do believe also that the timing was a major factor in the failure of the commercial.